All right, buckle up because today we are diving deep into a fiery pairing, Leo and Sagittarius compatibility. We're talking about those couples, you know the ones. Just bursting with energy, the kind that always seem to be on some exciting adventure, leaving a trail of glitter and laughter wherever they go. That's Leo and Sagittarius in a nutshell, wouldn't you say? We've got their compatibility analysis right here. And let me tell you, it's not just about their shared love for drama. We're going way deeper than that, talking about intimacy, communication, shared values, you name it. All the things that can make or break a couple. And this analysis, well, it doesn't hold back, describing their connection as liberated, especially when it comes to intimacy. Like they bring out this sense of freedom in each other, encouraging their true selves to come out and play. So from an astrological perspective, why is that?
Well, it's really quite fascinating how their energies work together. Leo, you see, is fixed fire. It's like a bonfire, burning bright, steady, you know, a source of warmth and attraction. And then you have Sagittarius, which is mutable fire, like a wildfire, spreading its enthusiasm everywhere, always exploring new territory. And this dynamic is amplified by, get this, the frequent trine aspect between their suns. Basically, it's like a supercharge to their already confident selves.
Okay, I'm starting to see the fireworks here, but hold on, what about jealousy? Leos, they love attention, right? And this analysis mentions that Sagittarius is surprisingly good at giving them that. So does that mean jealousy just disappears with this pairing?
That's a really good question. And it's true, jealousy isn't usually a major issue for Leo and Sagittarius. But here's the thing, Sagittarius needs constant stimulation. It's that mutable nature. If the relationship gets boring, predictable, their attention might wander. And a Leo who feels neglected, well, they might start to get a little suspicious. And Sagittarius, being a fire sign themselves, might pick up on that suspicion and mirror it right back. It can turn into a bit of a tug of war if they aren't careful. They're both capable of feeling insecure if the love starts to fade, even if it comes out as playful teasing or needing a bit of reassurance rather than full-blown drama.
So it's not just a physical attraction with this pair. This analysis says Leo and Sagittarius can connect on a mental level too. But they're both thinkers in totally different ways though, right? Like Leo is ruled by the sun. It's all about that radiant energy, wanting to create, inspire, that kind of thing. And then you have Sagittarius with that philosophical side, always searching for truth, expanding their horizons. So how does that actually work in a conversation?
That's what makes their communication so interesting. It's like they each have this, missing piece that the other one needs. Leo brings that grounding energy, the practical side, to Sagittarius's big ideas, helping them focus all that enthusiasm into something real, something tangible. Picture this. Sagittarius is buzzing with ideas, like a million ideas a minute about starting a global movement or something. And Leo's the one who says, okay, amazing, but let's start with a killer mission statement. And a website to match, obviously.
I like that. So they balance each other out.
Exactly. And it goes both ways, too.
Yeah.
Sagittarius pushes Leo to think bigger, to see beyond just themselves and their spotlight, to consider the bigger picture. It's a recipe for, some very lively conversations, lots of creative brainstorming.
Okay, that all sounds great, but let's be real. This analysis also mentions their strong personalities. Are you telling me these two fire signs, used to getting their way, they don't butt heads?
Well, conflict is bound to happen in any relationship, right? Especially with this much fire energy involved. But, and this is important, conflict can actually be a good thing. It can help a couple grow as long as both partners are willing to learn and adapt. I think the key here is for both of them to make time for those quieter moments, to balance out those passionate exchanges with vulnerability, really listening to each other, trying to see the other person's perspective.
It's like that saying, you can't have a rainbow without a little rain.
And speaking of, let's move on to shared values. This is where I got a little confused by the analysis. It says that both signs value courage. Makes sense, right? But they express it so differently. Like, Leo might show their courage by performing on stage, while Sagittarius would book a one-way ticket to Nepal, something crazy like that. Can those two really coexist long-term?
Of course they can, and that's the beauty of this pairing. It's not about erasing those differences. It's about appreciating them, seeing them as strengths. Leo's courage is about self-expression, taking risks, but in the spotlight, inspiring other people. Sagittarius, on the other hand, they find courage in exploring, expanding their horizons, challenging the way we think. They're both saying yes to life, just in their own unique ways. It's like they're both speaking the same language, but, with totally different accents.
Exactly.
One's bolder, the other's more free-flowing. But that core message of courage definitely comes through.
Okay, I'm with you on the shared values thing. But what about actually doing things together? Like The analysis seemed a little unsure about Leo's enthusiasm for roughing it in the wilderness. It even said that Leos would rather be performing for a crowd than, like, going on some big backpacking adventure. So how do you bridge that gap?
Well, that's where compromise comes in.
Yeah.
And a willingness to try new things, to step outside those comfort zones. It's not about forcing a Leo to go camping,
Right?
or expecting a Sagittarius to just be happy in the audience.
Right.
It's about finding that middle ground.
Makes sense. Like, maybe instead of that backpacking trip through the Amazon, they compromise on I don't know, luxury safari or something. They still get to explore, experience nature, all that, but with a touch of comfort. And hey, maybe Leo can even get some amazing pictures for their Instagram, right?
So it's about finding that sweet spot where both partners feel like their needs are being met and they can still express their courage in their own way. Wow, we've covered so much ground today. From that passionate connection to communication, potential challenges, the importance of shared values. So to wrap things up, what's the final word on Leo and Sagittarius? Are they truly compatible?
Well, this pairing definitely has the potential for an amazing relationship, one that's full of passion, adventure. You know, they naturally bring out the best in each other, encouraging each other to shine bright, embrace life, all of that. But, and this is important, like any relationship, it takes work. It takes understanding, a willingness to grow together.
It's like, what's that saying? Relationships are a dance. Knowing when to twirl together and when to give each other space.
Exactly. And here's something else to remember. We've been focusing on sun signs today, which is a great starting point. But to get the full picture, you really need to look at the entire birth chart. Like exploring their moon and Venus signs, that can reveal so much more.
So consider this deep dive just the beginning, a starting point for your own exploration into Leo and Sagittarius compatibility. Thanks for joining us on this fiery journey. And remember, astrology is a guide, not a rule book. It's up to us to use this knowledge to understand ourselves, our relationships better. Until next time, keep exploring and keep those sparks flying.